Here's Rineman in the Morning, on demand from 102.1 and 105.3, The Shark. It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
The World Clown Association held its annual convention in Florida. It was attended by hundreds of clowns who arrived in one tiny airplane. Two teams from Florida will compete in college basketball's Final Four. Most of the time, when two groups from Florida face off, it's at 3 a.m. inside of a Waffle House. Happy birthday to Aerosmith's Steven Tyler, who turned 75. And you can tell he's getting up there because instead of scarves, his mic stand is wearing a shawl.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
It's Monday and it's time to slay the day. I'm
That's
so
how we're gonna
tired.
start it.
I
That's how we're gonna start it.
I haven't finished my coffee yet.
Megan, what's going on?
So, a Massachusetts man is slaying the day by running across the country a second time. He
Really?
did it.
Did he forget something?
Yeah, I don't know. He forgot some snacks for the
that's
trip.
A shame. That's a
Yeah. You got to have some Doritos, some I don't know, trail mix.
Trail mix.
I don't know. See, Doritos is what I like, and trail mix is what I feel like is like a healthier alternative.
Have you ever eaten trail mix on a trail?
Probably.
Really?
At some point.
I'm always on the couch when I have my trail mix. Should be couch mix.
Yeah. See, I can't keep snacks in my house because I have zero self-control. It's really bad.
What do you eat?
Do
you go out and pillage? Do you go out and get animals? Like, what's your deal?
So usually I get a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
And then I go just roaming about the neighborhood, really close to homes. That's how I like to live life in the fast lane.
But your deal is you go up to the home with your bow and arrow and say, "Give me your food."
Exactly. So that's how I like to spice up my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you wrote that song, people don't realize, for the Spice Girls.
Yeah. I love that song. This conversation has hit like a million different points, but it all
just
circles
like the
back
man
to
who's running across the country.
Yes, a second time. But seriously, though, how amazing is that? He ran across the country once, which I feel like, not that I would ever do that, but if I did, I wouldn't have legs anymore. Like they'd be useless. I would, be in not a good place. And he's doing it a second time, and I think he's in his late 20s, early 30s. He's young. I'm single. Hey. Why not?
Yeah,
I respect an athlete. I respect it.
Well, go to the Shark app if you want to see about this gentleman running across the United States. And, hey, good luck to that guy. And rest in peace, that guy's nipples.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
WrestleMania and Final Four on Saturday. Get ready to watch a lot of Bravo on Sunday.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
We were talking spice up your life, right, Megan?
Yes.
We should play some Spice Girls, don't you think?
Yes. I'd be so happy.
I'm trying. I'm trying to get it done.
Yeah, because I'm sure that Spice Girls, I'm sure they're your passion.
They are.
Speaking of celebrities, though, Gordon Ramsay is going to be bringing a Hell's Kitchen restaurant to New England.
What do you mean? So this is one of the places, is this a place he discovered, or is this like one of now his restaurants?
When I read Hell's Kitchen restaurant, the first thing I thought of was like the studio where they film Hell's Kitchen. I'm like, Obviously that's not true. I think it's just one of the many restaurants that he owns, where I think it focuses on maybe some of Gordon's specialty dishes. I know a beef Wellington is one of them. I know he loves screaming at people and using every curse word in the book when they don't cook beef Wellington on Hell's Kitchen to the standard that he wants.
I love beef Wellington. Beef Wellington sounds like a wrestler from London.
I'd never heard of the dish in my life prior to watching Hell's Kitchen.
Weighing at 310 pounds, beef Wellington. Here's my question for you. Who do you think is the nastier British reality star? Gordon Ramsay or Simon Cowell?
Oh, geez. I think they're both nice guys. I think.
Of course you would.
Well, here's the thing.
The minute I asked that, I was
think
like,
that Gordon.
Megan's a heel. Of course she's going to like these guys.
Well, I think that Gordon hams it up for TV, and I think Simon Cowell. I've watched America's Got Talent for years, and he's not actually very mean on it. I think that he learned his lesson from his earlier days when he got kind of a bad rep for being a dirt bag. I'll say that on the air.
He's another guy. If you look at the way he dresses with those shirts, rest in peace to his nipples.
Oh, good grief.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
A judge in New York City was fired after he was caught moonlighting in pornography. Now there's a guy who forgot his legal briefs. You can check out his latest film, 12 Happy Men. I heard that Jerry weren't the only ones who were hung.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
Well, we've reached that point where I wrote something for the Shark app or shark1053.com, and Megan has questions.
I can't believe I've lived around here all my life, and I didn't know that there was a hidden ship.
Well, here's a hint. I'll give you a hint that it's on a Rye beach. I won't tell you which one, because there's a bunch of them.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a ship. And back in the early 1900s, there was a rough night. The sea was angry that day, my friends. Like an old man sending back soup at a deli. That's a Seinfeld quote. But it was a rough night. And the ship just kind of disappeared, and then all of a sudden it showed back up. It's in the sand. And if you're walking along, you could like trip over an old ship that was built in the 1800s. Isn't that nuts?
That's cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so do some digging maybe, except don't actually do some digging. You might get in trouble.
Well, yeah. I said if you have a metal detector, no luck. But if you have a ship detector, yeah.
Yeah. That brings up the topic of I've seen people like do metal detecting.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't more people do it? When you think about it, you could find some cool stuff. I've never tried it. I'm one to talk, but...
Well, I think it's because you look so funny when you're doing it. You have to put on the big giant headphones, and you're walking along with the thing. That's when I knew that my dad, I was like, oh, he's ready to be a grandpa.
But let's say you find something really valuable that you can sell. Then who's laughing now when you're rich?
I'm still laughing at you because you spent money to buy your metal detector.
Okay, yes, but if you spend money to buy a metal detector, but then you earn more from what you find.
What are the odds of that, though?
I don't know. You tell me. You seem to know it all.
I'd say pretty low.
I don't know. I don't know anything about metal detecting.
I don't either. And if there was a way to do it that was like that, I wasn't walking along and it's just the look of it. It's the look of the metal detector. I want to know why it's always older people that do it. Wouldn't it be younger people who are like looking to make a few extra bucks?
Maybe it's because this is the logical, practical answer because that's what my mind immediately goes to. But it doesn't require a lot of agility. You can just kind of take a nice, pleasant stroll and wave a little stick with the thing at the end on the ground.
Yes.
And just hope you find a quarter or something exciting. And
why don't they have like a bone detector?
How are bones valuable?
Well, I'll tell you what would happen. You would solve every episode of Dateline. You just have Keith. You just have Keith Morrison go, and this is the crime. Now, excuse me. And he puts on his bone detector and just goes to the beach and goes, I found them. And that's the end of the episode. 5 minutes, in and out. It's the TikTok era.
Keep it simple.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
First Red Sox game on Thursday. Or as they said, till then, we're tied for first place.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Megan, what's going on this fine Tuesday?
There is a popular foodie TikToker who is raving about pancake flights from a New Hampshire cafe.
Now, again, a flight would mean a succession of 3 different types of pancakes, correct?
3 or 4, yeah.
Got it.
That's awesome because I've had wine flights, I've had coffee flights, but never a pancake flight.
Flights. Unbelievable. Pancakes taking flight. And this is somewhere in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
You get an amazing pancake flight.
And there are pictures, and they look delightful. I will say that.
So this would be different kinds of pancakes. It might be like chocolate chip. It might be like blueberry.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What would you have on a pancake flight? Let's say you had 3 options.
I'd put chocolate chip, and then I would put blueberry, and then I'd probably go banana.
Interesting.
That'd be my 3. How about you?
The only thing I would do is instead of blueberry, I would do strawberry. You know what? You take the blueberries. I'll take the strawberries.
Strawberry's just too it's too radical. It's too radical.
Radical?
Yeah, it is. It stands out too much. It's troublemaker.
Like me. That's accurate.
But that's accurate. That would be you. You'd be like, it's like the thorny pancake.
Fair. And you're wearing a blue shirt right now. So, if you're picking a blueberry, you're repping.
But blueberry, it mixes with the pancake, I feel.
Okay. That makes sense. I can give you that one.
Strawberry, you're making a statement. You're standing out.
Yeah. You're awesome. Like me. Again. Just saying. Just put that out there.
Pancakes taking flight. It's a flight of pancakes. You can check it out on the Shark app.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
A woman in New Hampshire says she has footage of Bigfoot. Even weirder, it's from his OnlyFans account. Disney is set to undergo another round of layoffs, which explains that new movie, Snow White and Just Dopey. Today is National Hot Tub Day. This morning I took off my robe settled into a jacuzzi, and relaxed until I was kicked out of Home Depot.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
Megan, what else is going on?
So someone came up with a list of some stupid questions that people from away or from out of state ask people from Maine. And as someone who is from New Hampshire, I wanted to know, what question would you ask someone from Maine that someone who's a resident in Maine might give you the side eye and be like, really?
Oh,
You're
you
really
mean
asking
like
me this? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it would be like, so do you live next to Stephen King? That would be the one that I best is probably the most annoying.
I would be like, what do you do? And this is also like, I'm one to talk because I live in New Hampshire. And that's what people often ask people from New Hampshire.
Oh, so just like, what do you do for fun in Maine?
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty to do in Maine. New Hampshire, I would think, would be trickier because people don't know as much about it. We're trying to change that here on Rineman in the Morning.
Yeah.
Well, the one that I always get is, hey, do you guys know Adam Sandler? That's the one. And it's just like, yeah, of course, everyone knew.
Yeah, he's my uncle.
And not even the same age. Like, it would always be like, when would I possibly have run into him? I did run into, strangely, I've talked about this before, John Cena a lot at Hampton Beach. Can I tell you something?
WWE.
Let me tell you something. That was like the first moment I almost came out of my skin as a dad was when I was telling Sadie to clean up and she was ignoring me. And then she did turn to me and she just went, "You can't see me," and gave me the "you can't see me."
That's funny.
But man, I turned purple. I was so angry. I was just like, you didn't just "you can't see me" to me, did you? And that's her thing now.
And she's like, yes, I did.
So check it out on the Shark app. These are things that people in Maine get annoying questions about what it's like living in Maine.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
I bet Gwyneth Paltrow sucks at water skiing.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Well, we reached that point where I wrote an article for the Shark app and Megan has questions.
So a woman supposedly caught Bigfoot on video in New Hampshire?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, do you believe in Bigfoot? Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Okay, I kind of just blew the lead a little bit there about how much I believe in this video. It is still worth checking out on the Shark app because I highlighted when I wrote about this some of the comments, because this was a YouTube video, and some of the comments are just, I don't want to be mean, they're very passionate. They're very interesting. These people really believe this might be Bigfoot. Okay, so read the comments that I highlighted in the article, and then watch the video. It's a great case study in, man, you believe what you want to believe, even though we're all seeing the same thing. I'll just come out and say it. This is the goofiest Bigfoot video I've ever seen. And you should check out the article on the Shark app just to have a good laugh. Because I went into it thinking, everyone was so excited about this. Like, oh, this might be credible. Hey, you know me and the devil monkey of Danville. You know that I stan the devil monkey. That's right. I stan it. I don't think it's mid. And that's for all the kids on the bus. And I went into this with some open eyes, and then I came out of it saying, are you kidding me? This shouldn't be in the woods. This should be in Times Square, looking to take pictures with people. So just go check it out. It's the goofiest Bigfoot video I've ever seen. It's hilarious.
Oh, boy, I'm looking at it now.
It's very funny. Check it out on the Shark app.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
The last person to testify in the Donald Trump case was the former publisher of the National Enquirer. Though I'm not sure if I believe that, as I read it in the National Enquirer. CNN is set to air a nightly show hosted by Charles Barkley. Not to be outdone, Fox News has a show that will be hosted by Air Bud. A new study says the world population will peak at 8.5 billion people by the year 2050, or whenever Nick Cannon runs out of Viagra.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
Well, Megan, I understand we have a follow-up to a story from the Shark app that we discussed last week, and I don't know what this is yet, so we're going in cold. So tell me what's happening.
So I know we've talked a lot about the parrot versus owl debate, and I love both, but
now,
I will
again,
say...
to catch up, this is in Merrimack, New Hampshire.
Correct.
There's a pet parrot indoors in a cage, and something happened between this parrot and an owl outdoors in a tree, and they've been going at it.
Correct.
Okay.
They're enemies, but... And we had a little bit of an argument about who is superior, parrots or owls. I like both, just saying. But
I'm an owl person, but you're kind of more of a parrot person.
I think there's one parrot that I think that you're really going to like because I followed him on YouTube for a long time. Have you ever heard of the parrot named Tico? I forget the actual...
Tico, of course. He plays drums for Bon Jovi.
Correct.
Tico Torres? Oh, no, you're talking about
I'm talking about that is correct, but I'm talking about a different Tico.
Okay, yep.
This is a bird named Tico who lives in Florida with his owner, and his owner will play electric guitar.
Oh, yes, I've heard about this.
And Tico will sing his little heart out. And so, he can actually sing "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" And I have the video. I have the video pulled up right now. It's listen to Tico's lovely vocals.
Okay, here we go. This is the Clash.
How did that make you feel?
I think he's a little confused because that was more like Axl Rose singing along.
Well, I think he's got better pitch than people in real life. So I'm a big Tico fan. I love him.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
Tom Brady dating again, but seriously, Pete Davidson?
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Megan, what's going on?
So Water Country in Portsmouth teased a big announcement, and the news should be out today, whatever it is.
I bet it's that they're shutting off the water. No water this year.
I was thinking the same thing. You took the words right out of my mouth.
That's why they call me Meatloaf.
Of course. But that honestly, I hope it's a new slide. I feel like...
What else would it possibly be?
It could be something else. It could be some sort of special new pass for the summer. I don't know.
But what would the pass entail? We've been over this before.
I don't work at Water Country. Don't ask me. I don't know.
Look, no disrespect to Water Country. Wedgies aside. We've been over this before. What could it be? You came here and you said, Water Country's schedule came out. What could it possibly be? You go to Water Country. You go down the water slides. It's fun.
I am excited for the summer and for water parks. I don't know. I'm excited about summer things to do. And there's an announcement, and if you go on our Shark app, you can find out what it is and potentially follow the article and go to Water Country's Facebook and see what's up.
You should troll me with this. You should come here and say, hey, the beach just released its schedule. Here it is. You won't believe it.
Go on one of your beach walks and then maybe think about ways you can be nice to me, and then we'll talk. Your beach walks that you love so much. Get out of here.
I can't even take the beach walks anymore because now, I get so much junk about those beach walks. That backfired on me in such a bad way. Everyone made fun of me for that.
Why?
Because you made fun of me, and then everyone was like, your beach walks. They're fine. Now I don't have any good ideas because of that.
Sometimes I think that you go on these beach walks and you spend all of your time exclusively thinking about how you can be the biggest pain in my caboose you can possibly be.
Well, no, that takes no effort at all.
That's fair.
I'm a natural.
You can walk Jeunesse. It's nice and small.
Jeunesse? Did you just say Jeunesse?
That's how... Isn't
it Jeunesse?
It probably is Jeunesse, but I was told... that was the pronunciation I heard growing up. So blame my parents for that one, not me.
Just make sure you don't get any sand in your Adidas.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
A Great Dane in West Virginia just gave birth to 21 puppies. To get them all out, they had to ring the doorbell. Yes, a dog gave birth to 21 puppies. When they're nursing, they all have to take a number. That's right, a Great Dane had 21 puppies. Now that's what I call littering.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
You have reached Water Country's guest relations. We are unable to answer the phone right now, so please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Have a great day.
Hi, Water Country. It's Rineman from over on Rineman in the Morning on the Shark. I heard you guys are making a big announcement today. I'm going to try to guess what it is. Are you replacing the water with Kool-Aid? Call me back. Let me know if I got it. Hey, Water Country, Rineman again. I have another guest for your big announcement. Is Water Country changing its name to the People's Republic of Water? Is that what it is? Call me. Water Country, Rineman, how about this? You announced that each day you're going to put a jellyfish in the wave pool, and the person who finds it gets some free Dippin' Dots. Huh? Hit up my digits.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
Robert Parrish coming to the Brook. Can't have a casino without a chief.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Megan, what else is going on? Is Legos announcing that they're going to sell ice cream this summer?
Well, not quite, but one of the most stressed states in New England is not what you'd think.
Really?
No, and I say that because I would assume that it would be Massachusetts exclusively. Well, a lot of reasons. I was going to say because it's got Boston, and that's a big city, but there are multiple reasons why I'd assume it's Massachusetts, and it turns out that it is not. I'm surprised it's not New Hampshire because I feel like me alone is the source of the most stress in the entire state.
I can tell
because
since
you tick me off so much.
I can tell since it sounded like Cookie Monster just wrote that last sentence for you.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Me alone, not happy talking to you.
That's actually a good impression. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I moonlight.
Of course you do.
Well, you mentioned you said Boston though, but my theory is that anyone that gets stressed in Boston just leaves. I feel like everyone in Boston is just stress-free because there's no conscience, there's no guilt. That's my theory.
You've said that to me about people before.
Mm-hmm. I think they live longer. I think so many people, when you go, oh, how is that person? Why are they still here? It's because there's no stress. They don't feel bad about anything. And so in Boston, you're not a bad driver unless you're a good driver. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a defensive driver, you drive crazy, that's how it is. When in Rome. When in Boston. Drive into the river. All right, so the most stressed state.
In New England.
Might surprise you. Check it out on the Shark app.
Yeah, it surprised me.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
AC/DC, Ozzy Osbourne, and Metallica will be appearing at the same festival. Even crazier, it's the Peach Festival at Applecrest. While speaking in New Hampshire, Chris Christie called Trump's threats baloney. Then he said, speaking of which, does anyone have some baloney? In a scientific breakthrough, a company recreated the extinct woolly mammoth in the form of a meatball. Unfortunately, somebody sneezed and it rolled out the door.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
We have reached that point where I wrote something for the Shark app and Megan has questions.
So a resident is raising money to create a Ninja Turtles landmark right here in New Hampshire.
That's
and
right.
I know that this goes back to, didn't you say that Massachusetts was doing something to commemorate Ninja Turtles, but Ninja Turtles were not invented in Massachusetts?
I put them on notice. It's all because of me. I don't know. But yeah, there was Northampton, Massachusetts tried to use COVID relief funds to honor the Ninja Turtles. And people were like, well, first of all, they're from New Hampshire. And second of all, you're using relief funds. But no, there's a gentleman right here in Dover who's, I think, should do it. I might contribute to this. And if you can, think about it or do something nice for the Ninja Turtles because they were invented right here in Dover.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? And I've always thought so. And finally, because it's their 40th anniversary and it's Dover's 400th anniversary, this person wants to put a commemorative manhole cover, like when the Ninja Turtles would pop out of, outside the apartment where they're creative. And I think that's great. I think it's a really cool
awesome.
idea.
Like a little landmark.
Yeah. Would you know, because you grew up here in Dover, do you know where that happened?
No.
Do you know yeah, people should know. It's the Ninja Turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's like the coolest thing created here. Give me a piece of Dover trivia that I may not know.
I know nothing about Dover.
How do you know nothing about Dover? You grew up here.
Dover, New Hampshire history. Other than I think the mill buildings look cool and are probably haunted. That's the gist of what I know.
Probably haunted.
Yeah.
Why? What do you think happened at the mill buildings?
There was a fire.
Was there really?
There was actually.
Well, there you go.
It killed some people. That is something I do know. That's the one thing I know.
See, I didn't know about that.
You learn something new every day.
You should write about that for the Shark app.
That's actually not a bad idea.
There you go.
Thanks for the free tip.
It's teamwork here. We help each other here.
Makes the dream work.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
Why don't they call Airbud Charles Barkley?
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Megan, what's going on?
So if you are missing a wedding band, we might have it. Well, not we over here at the Shark, but someone here in New England has it. So a woman found...
Wait, hold on a sec. Have you been stealing again, Megan?
You weren't supposed to have been there. You weren't supposed to have seen that.
No, but someone lost a ring.
Yes, it is a unique size 12 wedding band, and it was found in Milton.
Why is that unique?
It looks unique.
Okay.
And you'll have to see the pictures on the Shark app for more details on that.
A killer start
but
today.
it's size 12.
Are you still mad at me about water country?
I'm always mad at you about something. So it is a size 12. It was found in Milton in the sand on the resident beach behind Pineland Park.
Okay.
So.
Okay. What town again?
Milton. So
that's very important. Yeah.
It is. Because, I mean, I'm sure there are lots of pieces of missing jewelry out there, but that helps to sort of zero in on a location. So if anybody is missing that, the woman would love to get it returned to its rightful owner. And
this sounds like the perfect start to a Hallmark movie.
Well, no, here's how a Hallmark movie would work.
Okay.
The way the Hallmark movie would work is this woman would decide that she would go on a quest to deliver the ring to the rightful owner firsthand.
Yes.
And the owner is some sort of smoking hot guy who lost his wife in some tragic accident. And he has a daughter about 8 who's in need of a mother figure in her life. And then someone's grandfather is Santa Claus. And then that's just how it ends. And then they all get married and live happily ever after in some charming rustic town where it snows all the time and people ice skate.
Sold. Let's make it. You got it in just before the writer's strike.
I'm not wrong.
Thanks, Megan. No.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders posted a tweet criticizing Starbucks labor practices. You know Bernie's least favorite thing to pour into his coffee? The 1%. A popular trend in New York City is nude dinner parties. So if you want to see some naked people eat dinner in New York, just ride the subway. Brad Pitt recently sold his home in Los Angeles. When asked to describe it, realtors said, "This place is the pits."
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
Megan, what else is going on?
So there's a new donut shop opening in Maine with giant homemade donuts. And I'm telling you, these donuts are something else. I want to have one so incredibly badly. They're huge. They have tons of toppings, and they're very colorful. And they're like, I know it probably sounds kind of stupid what I'm saying, but I mean it when I say these donuts.
What sounds stupid, that you like donuts?
I'm venting.
You think
I don't
that's
know.
a controversial take?
I'm venting about donuts, but no, in all seriousness, these are donuts unlike anything you have ever seen, and they look amazing. And I think everyone should go. And including myself.
Okay, so this is in Maine.
Yeah.
Check it out on the Shark app.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's a new donut place, but I wouldn't be promoting a donut place unless it looked pretty dang cool. So.
Hey, I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
What do you call a 3-day-old donut?
Couldn't tell you.
A bagel.
Oof.
That's not a joke. That's me looking on the bright side of life. You can always turn it into something else.
Always look on the bright side. Monty Python right there.
Do you like Monty Python?
I love Monty Python.
What's your favorite Monty Python sketch?
See, I've only seen Holy Grail. Well, no, I think I saw... Oh, my word, what is it? I'm forgetting. I've seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and I saw another one. You
were so obviously in the witness protection program. It's so clear by now. And I don't want to out you to whoever is after you and whatever you did, but you're like... Oh my gosh, I love the Beatles. And I go, oh my, well, yeah, what's your favorite song?
Yesterday.
You go, I only know All Together now. That's the one song I know.
I don't actually know that one. I know a bunch of others.
What's your favorite Beatles song?
Oh man, I'm not going to sit here and say it's their best song, but every time Yellow Submarine comes on, I just get happy. It
and who sang Yellow Submarine?
The Beatles.
No. It's classic hits for the Seacoast, 102.1. 105.3 The Shark. Be right back with more Rineman in the Morning.
Cackling like a hyena over here.
It was Ringo.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
Opening day at Fenway Park. I scalped my tickets to pay for some eggs.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
We reached that point where I wrote something for the Shark app, and Megan has questions.
So all those researchers over at MIT are being extraordinarily productive. And it turns out one of the ways in which they're being productive is they came up with a proper way to split an Oreo.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who does not put much thought into Oreos, I want to know your take on it, because clearly you put enough time and thought into it to write about it.
Well, I kind of agreed with a news guy when he talked about it, which is I'd like a new definition of the term scientist. What'd you do this semester? Oh, you practiced on your Oreos? You operated on some cookies? Here's what I do. When I have like a plate of Oreos, shall we say, I never eat them the same way twice. I do each one a different way. I will do the twist where you get, the perfect twist is where you get, perfect, but there's more cream on one half, and then there's like, no, I do that. I do the slow twist where you get a little on each one.
This is a science.
Well, and then I do that thing where you kind of bite off, and then I just eat the whole thing, How about you? What's your Oreo go-to?
I rarely eat Oreos, to be honest. I don't have a special way to eat them. I just don't. I rarely have them.
What's your deal with Oreos? What's wrong with them?
There's nothing wrong with them. I just didn't really grow up eating them very much, and that didn't change as an adult.
What's your favorite cookie?
In general, I sound so basic, but give me some chocolate chip cookies. I am working on improving my cooking and baking skills. I need to make chocolate chip cookies. This conversation is inspiring me now. I need to make cookies.
What's your favorite cookie brand?
I don't eat many. Wait, no.
I don't understand you.
Well, no, hear me out. I have cookies, but not on like a regular basis. So that's why I don't have like a go-to like cookie I consume.
No, wait, we're out of time on this break, but hang out right here. I have a Megan theory. We'll be right back. More Rineman in the morning.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
Americans want Congress to pass legislation for a 4-day work week, which could take a while as Congress has a 0-day work week. Starbucks CEO Harold Schultz testified before Congress. He didn't want to, but it was the only way they would let him use the bathroom or the Wi-Fi. Producers of eggs are reporting a 700% increase in profits, which explains why today Foghorn Leghorn was dressed like a pimp.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the morning.
What new baseball rules would you institute to make the game more exciting, more fun? And this is kind of fun. Marconi, he actually listens to the Shark on the Shark app from Chicago. How about that? You can take the Shark with you anywhere, and he listens to us on the Shark app every day. Amazing. And Marconi wrote this is funny. He says, this is what he'd do. There'd be a full dance squad that appears during every pitching change. They dance to a walkout song for the new pitcher and then disappear until the next one. So you have basically a Lady Gaga routine for every pitching change. I love it. I love pitching changes. Wow, the amazing things that you can do with the Shark app. Thanks for listening, Marconi. That's awesome. In Chicago.
Now on Rineman in the morning, it's What's Up on the Shark app with Megan, the Shark's own app and website guru.
I'm here with Megan, who says she loves Monty Python, but has only seen one Monty Python sketch. And I'm trying to get any kind of straight answer about cookie. I asked favorite cookie brand. What's going on? What's your favorite cookie, Megan?
But the ones that I love, like at gatherings and get-togethers, they're like the sugar cookies that you just get at any store. You know what I'm talking about.
Megan,
they're really basic with frosting
right
and sprinkles.
You are a wonderful person, you're a lovely person.
Choose your next words very carefully.
But if I had never met you in person, I would think you are AI. I would think you are an AI chatbot sometimes.
That's just mean.
I love the cookies. I want to make the cookies. What's your favorite cookie? I don't know any of the cookies. What is my cookie?
My go-to
the
snacks are like chips. Like Doritos and Smart Food popcorn.
You like Smart Food?
One time when I was like 13, I ate an entire bag in one sitting by myself. And to this day, like I think about that and I'm so proud of myself.
There you go.
Authentically. Yeah. See,
Smart
I'm not
food.
AI. My friends will tell you I'm an absolute crackhead.
What? What is happening here today? This started so like tame and I was like, we're going to have nothing. And now I'm afraid of what's going to happen.
I'm insane, Rineman. I'm a theater kid.
That's true.
I played everything from Trees to Jesus Christ in theater productions growing up. I've played every character under the sun. I'm crazy.
Oreos to Jesus all of a sudden.
Well,
now.
you accused me of being AI, and I'm telling you that I'm not AI.
I didn't accuse you. I just said
you did.
If I didn't know better, you would be AI.
Okay, but I feel personally attacked. I feel personally victimized by John Rineman in the morning.
Oh boy, it was only a matter of time.
Here we are.
I'll see you at HR. later.
See ya. Christine, can we talk for a minute?
Yeah, we'll be right in.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
It's so cold at Fenway Park, the foot-long hot dogs are only 6 inches.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Coming up on Sunday, it is the Dover Children's Home 15th Annual Bowl-a-thon. And here to talk to me about it is Renee from the Dover Children's Home. Hi, Renee. How's it going?
Hi, John. I'm good. How are you?
So, understand new location this year for the Bowl-a-thon. Where are we at?
So we used to have it at Dover Bowl, and that's changed pretty dramatically. So this year we are actually having it at Bowl-a-rama in Portsmouth.
There you go.
So we're pretty excited.
Yeah, that was a place of my youth. I was saying to my friend Sean here a little bit ago, I would just play at the arcade when I was a kid. I was that kid. But that's cool, right? You come by and you're there, you're helping out. Tell people, what is the Dover Children's Home? What work is done there?
So we're a residential treatment program for adolescents. And so we have actually 2 programs. So we have a residential treatment program, community-based for kids 10 to 21. And then we also have an independent living program for kids who are 18 to 21. And so what we do is treatment for them around emotional trauma. And we're also working with them to get them back into the community and to get them to be as productive members of society as possible.
That's wonderful. And tell me about the bowl-a-thon.
Yeah.
What happens with the bowl-a-thon?
All right. So we have 4 sessions. So 10, 12, 2, and 4 o'clock. It's an hour and a half of bowling. There's teams of 4 to 6. They can come in and bowl for free, but what we ask is that people try and raise money for us as part of the event. It's a lot of fun, and we have Logan and Megan who are going to be there. And so we just...
Oh, wait a minute. Megan from What's Up with Megan? Oh my gosh.
No, we're excited about that.
Okay.
You might not be, but we are.
Yeah, I'm a little busy the next few weekends.
You got to come bowl. No, we have a lot of fun. It's a great day, and we're looking to raise about $30,000 for the day. This year, we're actually going into the event with more money than we have in the past. And so as of today, we're walking into the event with about $14,000 already raised, which is amazing. And so what people bring in, and then we can take walk-ins on the day of, even if they didn't sign up ahead of time. And we just ask them for a donation of what it would have cost them to bowl with their family for an hour and a half.
That's tremendous. And what do the proceeds benefit? Because that's what people always want to know. They want to help, but how can I help? What am I doing?
Yes. Yeah. So the proceeds benefit Dover Children's Home and the kids that are living there right now, but also the kids that are living there in the future.
Oh, great.
And so what happens is about 60% of our budget comes from the state and from Medicaid payments, and the other 40% we raise. And we raise that through fundraising events and through donations and through the kindness of our incredible community that we have here. So these events are really important for us in order for us to be able to continue to provide care for our kids.
That's wonderful. And it's this Sunday. And if people want to check it out and they can sign up, they can go to doverchildrenshome.org or bowl-a-thon.net.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
This Sunday. All right. Hey,
Super
I'm wishing
excited.
strikes to everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Renee.
Thank you for having me.
And I look forward to a wonderful event this weekend.
Thank you so much.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
Well, there was a landmark legal ruling yesterday. That's right, Gwyneth Paltrow was found not guilty of ski slope assault. In other news, President Donald Trump was indicted. If he's arrested, he'll be given 1 phone call or 1 more than he gives Don Jr. Yes, Donald Trump was indicted. President Biden was so excited about it, he tripped and fell into a cake.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
What do you got there, Megan?
So I'm having a bit of a crisis right now.
Oh no, what happened? Did you get lost at Jeunesse Beach?
I'm just lost, period, all the time. So our coworker, Rachel, she has started putting whipped cream in her coffee in the morning.
What?
Yeah, don't ask me why. I love her. She just kind of started doing it. It's like, why not? So I decided I was going to do the same thing this morning. And I am having a complete crisis because I don't know how I feel about it.
Take a sip of the coffee. It's right there.
Yeah.
What do we got? Any good? Coffee and whipped cream. What's the verdict?
It trips me up because the whipped cream is really sweet and the coffee's like, don't get me wrong, I love putting like a lot of creamer and stuff in my coffee because I hate like bitter, really dark roasted coffee. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, even with a little bit of creamer that I put in my coffee, it's still a little bitter.
So you don't like things that taste bitter?
Not really.
So you are not what you eat. Megan will be back in just a few to tell us what's happening on the Shark app. It's classic hits for the Seacoast. 1021. Don't leave.
I'm not a mirror, John.
102. Hey.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
They asked me to pitch for the Red Sox tomorrow.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Well, Megan, what's happening?
So there was a New England Jeopardy clue that stumped contestants on, well, Jeopardy. And I feel like a fool because when I listened to it, I didn't know the answer.
Oh, really? But I got to go to the Shark app.
Yeah.
To find out what it was.
But there is a Gilmore Girls reference in there if you like that show.
I know this
yeah.
one. I think I know this one. Yeah, I saw that. I would have gotten that. You wouldn't have gotten it?
No.
See,
my roommate would have been so mad at me. So my college roommate was a big Gilmore Girls fan. And yeah.
I'm one of those people that I actually like. I secretly am good at Jeopardy, but I don't kind of flaunt it because I feel like I'm one of those people that I'd get on the show and I would just freeze up. How do you think you would do on Jeopardy?
I feel like I'd fare about the same as everyone else in that I feel like we all have a specific niche area that we just happen to know a lot about, where if they asked us a question about that specifically, we would do very well. But do I have fun facts and little nuggets of wisdom about every topic under the sun? That would mean that I would do pretty well in Jeopardy? No.
What if it was like, and today's double Jeopardy category, The Conjuring House?
Ha, now that I could tell you.
Yeah.
Hoping to go back to the Conjuring House, speaking of.
What's
in October.
Why? What's going on?
Literally nothing. My friend and I just liked it so much and we want to go back. We're probably going to go back at night this time.
Oh, are you really?
We're thinking not like an overnight, but I think last I checked the website, they had like investigations that were like, I don't know, 7 p.m. to midnight or something like that. I probably wouldn't stay overnight because I just don't pull all-nighters and I doubt I'd be able to sleep there. So I would just rather go and maybe leave at midnight-ish and then go to a nice hotel and have a nice, pleasant rest.
What if the spooks follow you home, like in the Haunted Mansion?
Then I guess we're having someone else join us for What's Up on the Shark app. It'd be another person. It'd be me and whoever else decided to tag along in spirit. Ooh. Did you like the sound effect?
Yep.
I'm going to finish my coffee now. Bye.
So I heard from Ken from Rye and reached out on the Shark app and said that didn't enjoy News Guy earlier in the show because he said it was too political. That's what Ken said. He said he doesn't like politics. And, Ken from Rye, you have a point, is that we don't generally do a lot of politics here on Rineman in the Morning. So I make a promise to you, Ken, that there will be no more political stories brought up today on Rineman in the Morning. No more political stories at all. But I didn't say anything about jokes. Today, Donald Trump asked why his new limousine has a siren. Before he's arrested, Trump will call Stormy Daniels and ask for his handcuffs back. Democrats were so happy, Bernie Sanders told neighbors to get onto his lawn. For the first time in 40 years, Bill and Hillary Clinton shook hands.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
Megan, what else is happening?
So speaking of the Conjuring House, this is sort of a perfect transition into a new haunted doll that is in Maine named Buddy.
What?
Yeah, he apparently is a haunted doll, and I don't know all the details about what his deal is, but apparently he's been caught moving on video.
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean moving? Like, what does he do?
He's in a little case, and then I feel like I saw the video. I don't remember the precise thing that happened, if he moved or if his case door opened, or it was one or the other.
That's so scary. That's awful.
And I'm sure the minute we stop being on air, you're going to say, oh, I don't believe in that. That's stupid.
Well, no, dolls freak me out. That is the one thing I kind of believe in the paranormal, is there's something about dolls. They're weird.
Dolls are so... I hate dolls so much.
I think you can make them happy. Like, I think you can have a doll... Like, there was this creepy old doll that I think used to belong to my mom or my aunt or something, and Sadie found it, and I was like, ugh! But then, Sadie befriended it, and now the doll actually seems happier. And I'm like,
the doll seems happier.
It does. Like, she took the edges off this haunted doll.
You would be so spooked by, I think it was Ghost Adventures that I watched. There's an episode of Ghost Adventures where they go to this, I don't know if it's a museum or just like, it's some sort of museum or exhibit, but it has literally hundreds of dolls. and they go there at night and they try to ghost hunt in this room with hundreds of dolls, some of which are like pretty big.
Yeah.
Others are just small and they're on shelves. You know how creepy it is when you have one of those machines that picks up like disembodied voices or whatever, and you're in a room with 100-something dolls with beady eyes glaring at you, and it's like 2 a.m.
Hello, Megan.
Not impressed.
What?
Not impressed.
No good? Give me your best creepy doll voice.
Need I continue?
Nope.
And now, here's sports in 10 seconds with the Sportsman.
Saturday, Final Four. Sunday, WrestleMania. Monday, find a divorce attorney.
That's your sports in 10 seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
We've reached that point where I wrote something for the Shark app and Megan has questions.
The parrot versus owl. I guess it's continuing because now an owl was stuck in a chimney and had to be rescued.
First of all, that's not been confirmed. I don't want anyone jumping to conclusions. Not all owls look alike. You know, they're different. But yes, there was, for the second week in a row, a big owl incident here in New Hampshire. And it required multiple hands, multiple men risk their lives.
Risking their lives.
You never know what's in that chimney. You never know what that owl's got going on. You know?
What kind of devious plans?
It was reckless. It was going through something. It was displaying erratic behavior, and these brave men from a chimney sweep company in Greenland went. They said, "Hey, we got to do what we got to do. It's our job to go make sure this deranged owl is okay." And they got it out, and good news, the owl all was good at the end of the day. But again,
what if it was the same owl?
I hate to say it.
What if this is the same owl as the one that kept attacking the parrot?
I hate to be, birdist here, but yes, it did look a lot like the same owl from the one that was attacking our friend Buddy the parrot.
Oh. You know what? Speaking of birds, you know what I was thinking of doing yesterday?
What's that?
I thought that it would be very nice to get a little bird feeder, but then at the same time, I'm kind of scared to get a bird feeder because...
You mean a squirrel feeder?
Yeah, but I'm concerned that animals maybe besides squirrels, I don't know, would be attracted to the food. I don't know. I don't want to come home and find some sort of bigger animal wandering around my yard.
You mean like the devil monkey of Danville?
Ooh, you need to let this go.
But it's okay because he's all reformed, he's all good, and every time he shows up at your house, he makes that famous sound that Fonzie made.
He's dead, John. The monkey's dead.
What? That's not what Fonzie says.
Correct.
Fonzie says,
"Hey, but the monkey's still dead."
I'm Charlie Butters, and I taught Gwyneth Paltrow how to ski. And it's time for your Friday Flix. Out today is Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. It's the only movie where adults are accompanied by their parents. Out on Apple TV is the film Tetris, about a man outsmarting the KGB and turning a video game into a worldwide phenomenon. The story of Tetris is good, but the actors just didn't fit. Out on Netflix is the Adam Sandler film Murder Mystery 2. The mystery? How did Jennifer Aniston wind up marrying Adam Sandler? I'm Charlie Butters, and remember to keep an eye on the screen and a hand in the popcorn.